Okay, hello students! I'm back. Today we've got science. Again, I'm teacher Sarah. I'm gonna be your teacher for today. Today we're gonna be talking about... Okay, first, let's describe these pictures. So, here on the left, we've got mushroom, flower, zebra, tree, dragonfly, fish, frog, bird, and crocodile. On the right, we have a teddy bear, a ball, a doll, chair, cloud, and skateboard. So what do you think is our topic for today? I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think and guess what is our topic for today. Okay, so what do you think is our topic for today? That's right, we have two topics, two in one. We have living things and non-living things. We have living things and non-living things. So last time we already talked about this. We talked about the characteristics of living things and also the characteristics and types of non-living things. So again, for living things, we have mushroom, flower, zebra, fish, dragonfly, tree, frog, bird, and crocodile. These things can move, can grow, can reproduce, can remove waste, can respond to stimuli, need food and drink water, and they can grow. For non-living things, the word is cannot. So they cannot grow, they cannot move, they cannot eat, they cannot respond to stimuli, remove waste, reproduce, or grow. So again, non-living things we have here, teddy bear, a ball, a doll, a chair, and cloud, and skateboard. For non-living things, again, we have two types. We have natural and man-made. For example, again, we have cloud for natural and chair for man-made. So again, natural is the things that comes from nature and man-made things that comes from people. Means people made them. So today we're going to be talking about the characteristics of living things and non-living things. So first let's watch the video. Enjoy and watch and listen carefully.
Huh? Ah. Ah.
Ah. Aha. Huh? Ah. Huh? Ah. Huh? Oh.
Living things grow. Living things have cells. Living things need air. Living things need nutrients. Living things need water. Living things reproduce. Now I'll say some living things. You show me how they go. A cheetah is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Run, run, run fast. A cheetah is a living thing. A flower is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Grow, grow, grow strong. A flower is a living thing. An eagle is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Fly, fly, fly so high. An eagle is a living thing. Living things grow. Living things have cells. Living things need air. Living things need nutrients. Living things need water. Living things reproduce. Now I'll say some living things. You show me how they go. A turtle is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Paddle, 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 glide. A turtle is a living thing. A frog is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Hop, hop, hop up. A frog is a living thing. A snake is a living thing. Show me how it goes. Slither, slither, slither smooth. A snake is a living thing. Living things grow. Living things have cells. Living things need air. Living things need nutrients. Living things need water. Living things reproduce. Now look all around each day and see the living things.
Jack Cartman! Kids Music Channel!
Girls and boys, everything you see each day is a living or non-living thing. Now use your brain and figure out, what are non-living things? Non-living things, non-living things, like cars and books and boats and swings. Non-living things, non-living things. This is what makes something a non-living thing. Non-living things don't have cells. Non-living things don't grow. Non-living things don't reproduce. Non-living things don't breathe or need water. Now you think and say some non-living things. Non-living things, like cars and books and boats and swings. Non-living things, non-living things. This is what makes something a non-living thing.
Okay, so what are the characteristics of living things and non-living things? Okay, again, for living things, our keyword is can. Can, it means we are able to do it, or living things are able to do it. It means they can do it. For example, they can grow. Living things can grow. Living things can move. Living things can move. Living things can reproduce. Living things can reproduce. Living things can breathe. Living things can breathe. Living things can respond to stimuli. Living things can respond to stimuli. Living things need food and water. Need food and water. Living things can remove waste. Again, living things can remove waste. Again, can grow, it means it can grow bigger. Living things can grow bigger, like animals, plants, and human. Living things can move. So living things can move, it means they can walk, they can run, they can fly, and do anything. Can reproduce, it means they can have baby, they can have family. Living things can breathe air. So living things can breathe air. Living things can respond to stimuli. means it's hot or it's cold. Another one is living things need food to eat food and drink water. So the last one is living things can remove waste. Can remove waste. It means it removes excess or bad things in our body. So living things can remove waste. When we eat too much or we ate something bad, it can remove it as waste. So again, our keywords for living things is can. Again, we have living things can grow, living things can move, living things can reproduce, living things can breathe, living things can respond to stimuli, living things need food and water, living things can remove waste. So, what are the characteristics of non-living things? So the characteristics of non-living things, again for our keyword, we have cannot. Cannot. So, characteristics of non-living things like phones, books, cloud, socks, and a bag, and a camera. Non-living things cannot move. Non-living things cannot grow. Non-living things cannot reproduce or have babies. They cannot have babies. Non-living things cannot remove waste. Non-living things don't need to eat, don't need to drink water. Non-living things cannot respond to stimuli. They cannot feel cold, they cannot feel hot. Again, non-living things cannot move, they cannot run, they cannot fly, they cannot walk. Non-living things cannot grow, they cannot grow bigger or taller. Cannot reproduce, they cannot have babies. It means they cannot multiply, they cannot have more unless you buy more, like books. Books cannot reproduce, they cannot have babies, but you can buy more books. Living things cannot remove waste. So when non-living things, they do not eat, so they do not need to remove waste. So non-living things don't need to eat or drink water because they cannot grow, they cannot move, they do not need energy, so they don't need to eat or drink water. Non-living things cannot respond to stimuli. They cannot feel hot, they cannot feel cold. So again, we have the characteristics of non-living things. We have cannot move, cannot grow, cannot reproduce, cannot remove waste, don't need to eat food or drink water, cannot respond to stimuli. Again, for non-living things, our keyword is cannot. So for this one, describe and answer the following pictures. Is it living thing or non-living thing? Okay, apple. Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a non-living thing that is also natural. It is a natural non-living thing. Living thing or non-living thing? It's an elephant statue. Can it move? Can it grow? Can it respond to stimuli? Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a non-living thing. Next, a clock. Is it living thing or non-living thing? That's right, a clock is a non-living thing. It is a man-made, non-living thing. An elephant. Can it move? Can it grow? Can it reproduce? Living thing or non-living thing? That's right. An elephant is a living thing. So it can grow, it can move, and it can reproduce. Socks, things that we use for our feet when we wear shoes. Is it living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it's a non-living thing. Next, a tiffin carrier. A tiffin carrier is where you contain or put food inside so you can bring it to work, to school. So it's a tiffin carrier that is also a food carrier. So you put food inside, it can contain food. So is it a living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a non-living thing. Next, a belt. A belt is the thing that we use to keep our pants up. So is it living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is non-living thing. A bird. Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a living thing. A stereo. It is the thing that we use to listen to music. It's for listening to music. So is it living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a non-living thing. A monkey. Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a living thing. It can reproduce, it can grow, and it can move. A pencil, a thing that we use for writing or we use in the classroom. A pencil. Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a non-living thing. Living thing or non-living thing? There's a cow with a baby. Living thing or non-living thing? That's right, it is a living thing because again, it can reproduce, it can have babies. So for this one, you have to choose a picture. 1, 2, 3. So for this question, which picture is a non-living thing that is used for writing? Which one is a non-living thing that we use for writing? That's right, a pencil. A pencil is the thing that we use for writing. Which living thing is big and strong? Living thing that is big and strong. An elephant or a monkey? That's right, an elephant. A living thing that is big and strong. Which non-living thing can contain food? Which non-living thing can contain food? It means which one of these non-living things can we put our food inside? That's right, a tiffin carrier. This is a non-living thing that we can put our food inside. It can contain food. Next, which non-living thing is used for listening to music? A stereo or a book? Which one is the thing that we use to listen to music? That's right, a stereo. Next, which non-living thing can we find in the living room? Living room is the place where you can relax, watch, read the book, play, or sit on the sofa. So which non-living thing can we find in the living room? Number 1 is TV or a fridge. Which one can we find in the living room? That's right. A living thing that we can find in the living room is a TV. Very good. Now let's do your worksheet. Answer the worksheet on hand. Read the instructions carefully and answer. Please listen to me and answer your worksheet. Okay, for these worksheets, you have to write living or non-living and natural or man-made. So you can write L for living and L for non-living, and you can write N and MM if it's a non-living that is natural or man-made. Again, a frog, is it living or non-living? You write L and color. A teddy bear, is it living or non-living? So it is non-living, you write NL, color, and is it natural or man-made? It is man-made, so you write MM. So next one, for this one you have to find living and non-living things and write them here in the blanks. For example, books, is it living or non-living? It is a non-living thing, so you can write books here in blank number 1. So a dog, is it living or non-living? That's right, it is a living thing, so you can write dog here and book here and so on. You can fill it in. Just describe and look at the pictures. What are the living things and non-living things? Next worksheet, again we have here a bunch of words in the box, and here, what is a living thing? Think about the characteristic of a living thing. Sort the living and non-living things into the proper columns. So for this one, again we have a car, is it living or non-living thing? So you write a car here, car, C-A-R, non-living thing. A tree, is it living or non-living? That's right, it is a living thing, so you have to write tree here, living thing. So that's all for today for our worksheets. Okay, very good. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. You can watch the video again and practice more. See you next time.